12 things you probably regret doing in your 20s. Are you in your 20s full of energy and savoring life as fully as friends, TV, or social media say you should? If yes, how do you know if you're taking full advantage of your 20s, making all the right decisions in your personal and professional lives? Sure, life is all about doing your best and taking chances, but make sure to avoid some, if not all, of the 12 pitfalls indicated in this video. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about 12 things you'll probably regret doing in your 20s, whether you're 20, 30s, in your 30s or 40s or 50s. There are 12 things you'll likely regret doing in your 20s. Number one, not relocating for better job opportunities. Now, they always say that randomness does not exist, right? If there's an opportunity coming your way, professionally speaking, you got to grab it. If you don't relocate for better job opportunities while in your 20s, chances are you might regret this down the road. Why? If you are in your 20s, chances are you're not married, or you're not in you might be in a relationship, but the likelihood that you will be tied to a specific spot is very low. You can take chances, and sometimes in that age bracket in your 20s, this is where you probably entry level, or you probably have 1 or 2 years experience, and accepting to relocate for a better job opportunity could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Why? Because this could impact your future career prospects. This could impact everything from compensation to promotion prospects, right? So this is very important. Now, moving across the country for a new job or the opportunity to get a new job is a big deal. I'm not discounting that. It is a big deal. If you're thinking about relocating, make sure that you answer a few questions about your personal life. If you're in a relationship, about if your family lives in the same state where you currently are, those are things you have to think about. But yeah, definitely relocating for better job opportunities. It's something that you should do if you are in your 20s. Number two, racking up credit card debts. Now, yes, basically you are thinking that that little plastic is fantastic. I remember back in the days when I got my first Discover card. I was very excited about it, and then the rest was history. How I misused it and had to restructure the debt several years ago. Don't make that mistake. You don't want to rack up the credit card debt. Use the plastic responsibly, and always use cash only, especially when it comes to food. Cash only diet. Now, avoid charging everything to a credit card. A credit card is there as some kind of emergency fund, right? You just charge the card, just charge an expense to the card until you get paid, right? Every 2 weeks or every month, but don't overdo it. So racking up credit card debts in your 20s can have serious consequences on your credit history, on your credit score, especially if you move in your 30s when you're ready to make consequential purchases such as a house, a car, and you realize that you have a bad credit, you have a poor credit score owing to mistakes you've made in your 20s. So don't do this. Mistake number 3, forgetting to floss on a daily basis. Yes, here and now we're talking about dental hygiene. Very important. When we're all young, you have beautiful teeth, fresh teeth. You just believe that this will be everlasting purity, everlasting whiteness. No, if you are eating and the teeth are being exposed to the elements, in this case food, chemicals in the environment, and so on and so forth, you need to maintain and you need to take care of your teeth, right? So you need to floss on a daily basis, and the more you floss, the better your chances of having perfect teeth in your 30s and 40s. All right, just a lot of experts say that not flossing lets plaque actually build up between teeth and become tartar, which is a hard deposit that can irritate gums and can potentially lead to infection and gum disease. So gum disease, as you know, or you probably don't know, is also linked to other problems, including diabetes and heart disease. Number 4, not investing. Whew, that's a great one. Not investing in your 20s, it's something you'll probably regret. If we think about the compounding nature of money, the compounding nature of ROI, the earlier you start, the better. Now, I'm not asking you to go and start investing on your own. You don't have to. If this is not your passion, or you lack the knowledge or the expertise when it comes to investing, do things passively, right? You want to open a retirement account, such as a company-sponsored 401k or an individual retirement account, as soon as possible. Because again, like I said, the earlier you start, the earlier you invest, the more time your money has to accrue interest. That's the beautiful effect of compound interest. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We are still talking about the 12 things you'll probably regret doing in your 20s. Now, before I move on to number 5, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that you are informed whenever we drop a new show. And we do this every single day, rain or shine. We are an infotainment show, and we drop shows all the time. Please like this content, share it, and comment below. Let us know the things that you regret doing in your 20s if you're over 20 years old, or over 30 if you're in your 30s or 40s or 60s or 50s. Tell us, what do you regret doing in your 20s? Let's start the conversation. Let's get the conversation going on, all right? Getting married too quickly. That's number 5. Now, I'm not advocating to wait until you're old to get married, but I'm just saying that in your 20s, sometimes we all lack maturity. You know, you just come fresh out of college. Your hormones are still vivid, are still lively, and it might be a mistake. Some researchers are saying that engaging in a dating, engaging in a relationship, it's pretty good. In a romantic relationship, it's pretty good. But you don't want to rush to the altar, because marriages have consequences, and especially if they end up in divorce. So I'm not trying to be gloomy here, but I'm just saying to give yourself some time, right? Give yourself some time. You know, obviously everyone is different. And for some people, getting hitched before 30 is the perfect choice, right? The thing here is that some people even said that some research has even suggested that people who marry in their mid to late 20s have happier marriages than those who marry later. Now, all those things is definitely anecdotal, right? Everybody's different. What I'm trying to get at here is that you want to accumulate some experience about life before you tie the knots, before you settle down and say, listen, here is a woman, here is the man I want to live for the rest of my life with, and I want to charter a new vision, a common vision, a joint vision with this person. So getting married too quickly could be a mistake in your 20s. Not traveling the world, right? In your 20s, it's good to travel the world. Put it on your bucket list if you have the budget for it. Actually, you don't even need to have a budget for it. The United States government has a program called the U.S. Peace Corps, and a lot of kids, young adults will seize that opportunity to travel the world. I've done it. I know what it is. It's beautiful. It's just fantastic. So not traveling the world is something you might regret if you don't do in your 20s, because that's when you have time, no attachment, no quote unquote attachment. You're free. You are willing to take risk. Once you hit the 30s and the 40s, the window of opportunities of risk taking shrinks. Number 7, never living alone. You gotta live alone, right? You want to try to feel how those lonely nights feel. You want to come home and just put the music on and dance in the room and dance in the apartment naked. Who cares? You want to do things yourself. Be comfortable with yourself. Experience solitude, not loneliness, but solitude. Being alone, right? and get to reconnect with yourself. And that's very important, because living alone for some time allows you to know yourself, allows you to understand what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy. And this is very important to try, and so that when you're in your 30s and when you decide to live with someone, you would have acquired a compass of personal habits, of personal routines that can make you a better adult. Number 8, not taking dating and relationships seriously. Now, there is some kind of what I call relationship volatility in your 20s, right? You just jump from one. We live in a Tinder era where you just swipe right, left, but you gotta take dating and relationships seriously, folks. Now, dating is what I call a process of trials and errors that allows you to find the right person. But unless you take the training, quote unquote, the dating training seriously, how are you going to learn? You never know. The person you're dating in your 20s might be the person you're married in your 30s, in your early 30s, or even in your 20s. So you got to take every opportunity, every dating opportunity as it comes as the one that will change your life. So don't change partners and just move on to one partner a day. Don't have a one night stands or 2 night stands or 1 week stands, whatever you want to call it. No, this is something you might actually regret later on in your life. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We are still talking about the 12 things that you probably regret doing in your 20s. And I want to talk to you now about number 9, not exercising. Fitness is key, folks. Fitness is important. Now, your metabolic processes are not going to improve as you age unless you really, really, really work out. Now, I'm not talking about, preparing for a marathon and running 26.2 miles or something. I'm not talking about hitting the gym every single day and trying to spend 2 hours on the treadmill and doing cardio. What I'm saying here is to have a consistent, a portable fitness regimen that allows your body to balance all the stress that you have in your life with some physical activity. It could be walking, it could be hitting the gym once a week or twice a week. If you are in your 20s, you want to hit the gym at least once or twice, at least twice a week, because there will come some time when you are in your 20s or 40s where the body wouldn't respond anymore, right? And this is how you are able to prevent certain diseases as you progress towards middle age. For example, things like the risk of heart disease goes down. Obesity, right? We have, people having weight problems because they've been eating too much. They've been eating some kind of bad food. They've had poor diet in their 20s and 30s, and the accumulated effect of all those negative dietary decisions starts showing up in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So you really want to work out. Number 10, worrying about what other people think. That's a big one, right? Everybody wants to worry about what people think. Who cares? You are unique, right? You are unique. You are yourself. As long as you're not doing anything illegal and you're not encroaching on anybody else's freedom, just be yourself, right? At the end of the day, it's all about trying things. It's all about going through the trials and errors of life, the vicissitudes of life, learning from life. So you constantly worrying about what people are thinking will just rob you of your beautiful youth. So that's a mistake. Don't do it. Number 11, letting your parents' opinion determine your life choices. We love our parents. We love our forebears. We love our grandparents. We love those who give birth to us. Yes, they are great. They are fantastic. They've sacrificed so much for us. But guess what? They're different. They're not you. They've had their lives. They are different human beings. They have their own aspirations and goals. You are different. You got to take what they tell you. You got to take what society tells you. You got to take what you think yourself and do a nice melange, a nice mix of all those 3, 4, or 5 different sources of opinion making, and trying to find out what really works for you. So it's important to set some boundaries between you and your folks so that you have space to figure out what you want personally and professionally. And this is important. What you who are listening to me right now, what you want personally and professionally, you got to figure that out. It's important to take care of absorb parental support, to embrace it, while at the same time having some distance from it. Number 12, not expanding your professional network. This is the big one, folks. If you are in your 20s, this is something you would probably regret unless you do it. You start doing it now. You need to expand your professional network in the industry. In other words, you need to cultivate relationships with folks in the industry. You need to cultivate relationship with your colleagues. See them during happy hours. See them socially. Find a way to ask them questions about their private lives. You want to know what kind of passions they have, what kind of charitable activities they volunteer for. Those things are important. Seek a mentor if possible. Seek a coach if possible. The difference between a coach and a mentor overall is that you pay a coach, whereas the mentor is free. So I would say it's just better to get a mentor, and if you have the budget for it, get a coach also. Identify an area in your life where you would like to have improvement and pay someone to help you. Pay someone to help you improve that. Another way to expand your professional network is to volunteer. Right? There's a lot of philanthropic opportunities out there, and the only thing you need to do is show up and say, I want to help. And it's good for your karma also. All right. So this is basically the 12 things you probably regret doing in your 20s. And let me just give you a quick recap here. Not relocating for better job opportunities. Racking up credit card debts. Forgetting to floss on a daily basis. Not investing. Getting married too quickly. Not traveling the world. Never living alone. Not taking dating and relationships seriously. Not exercising. Worrying about what other people think. Letting your parents' opinion determine your life choices, and not expanding your professional network. This is it. Think about it. Food for thought. I will see you next time. And until then, remember, stay fantastic.